Hey guys, welcome to Spooky Tuesday, a weekly podcast where we're breaking down all of our favorite slashers, thrillers, monster movies, and black comedies on the new scariest day of the week. I'm Cindy Thompson.
I'm Monica Height.
And I'm Chelsea Duff.
And baby, it's still Pop Star Horror Month here on Spooky Tuesday. And we're going back just to a year ago. This genre only has existed for 3 years. And so here's the third installment of the genre ever. Also, if you know of an old one that should go into this theme, you should be DMing us and telling us about it. I would love to be wrong. I would love to see an 80s pop star horror movie. Can you imagine? But anyway, we don't. To our knowledge, this is it. Okay, so fucking calm down. So here we go. It's Opus from 2025, and here is the IMDb log line. A writer travels to the compound of a pop icon who disappeared years ago. Surrounded by his cult of sycophants, oh my God, as well as a group of fellow journalists, she soon discovers his twisted plans for the gathering.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm glad it said pop icon in there because while I embrace this being pop star horror regardless, as I was watching it, I was like, I wonder if he's really more of a rock star, technically.
No, his music is definitely like dance pop.
I think he's like giving Elton John-ish kind of, and I would put Elton more in like a pop category.
There's pop rock overlap also.
For sure. I think that his music, just like from what's the song called? Dina Simone. Die. Help. What's going on?
So close.
Dina Simone.
You can just ask me the name of any of my songs and I'm just like, I'm ready.
Okay, like, I know thank God we have John Malkovich here.
I didn't know if you guys knew that at home, but
yeah.
Moretti.
But now you do.
Moretti is here. Yeah, just so you know, Moretti is here.
I'm channeling the spirit.
It feels like very like 90s dance pop type of music. I don't know. I thought the music was honestly fucking so good for this movie. And I feel like they like nailed his like aesthetic and the vibe of like what he would have been in the 90s from what we did see. But that's all because I feel like they nailed that aspect of this because Mark Anthony Green, this is his directorial debut, like comes from a music journalism background. He was literally a journalist. I think Spin. I'm going to look it up right now.
Okay.
Oh, he's very handsome.
Oh, fuck. He's really hot.
Now I got to Google him.
He's crazy handsome.
He's crazy good looking. He's crazy good looking.
Anthony Green. Oh my God.
I know.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Why didn't they make him do so much more press for this movie? Why didn't they have him front and center for this movie?
He was also an editor at GQ. I thought he said he was... Oh my God.
Here's the thing.
Oh my God.
I was not expecting him to look like this because every time I hear Mark and Green, I think of the ER doctor who is like the balding, skinny white man with glasses. And I was like, Mark Green,
who's very handsome to some. My best friend is in love with Dr. Mark Green, but it's fine. It's a different look. It's a very different look.
This is a treat. This is a treat when you were thinking that in your head.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, he was a style columnist for GQ. Well, that makes sense too. Okay, where did I see that he worked as a music writer? What the fuck?
Maybe
I literally read that
like,
this
that's
morning.
How he got his start.
I literally read that this morning. And now I can't find that article because I did all of my research on Adam's fucking iPad. And so none of it happened. None of it had any crossover. And that's making me upset now.
His website on his Twitter is out of date.
No.
I'll text him and let him know. We're gonna be close personal friends.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, if you could please text him, that would be really, really great. Damn. Okay, well, now I'm pissed off because I had a whole argument that this was good because he knew what the fuck he was doing. Because he knew about the music industry, but now I don't know if I made that fucking shit up. But either way, I think this is pretty impressive too for a directorial debut. Definitely not a perfect film, but I think it's a really interesting concept and like a interesting way to come at pop star horror, especially in you know, the very popular genre that
The
has
very
3
popular
movies in it.
genre. Pop
Currently only
star
has
horror.
3 movies in it.
It's about to
Soon to
be
be
4.
4. It's about to be 4. Okay, all right. Um, but yeah, I thought it was a really fun concept. Like the mystery of like a pop icon like being gone for so long who like has this unbelievable sway. And I thought that honestly, weirdly, it had some like interesting parallels to him.
I agree.
Yeah, it was so weird to watch it again after seeing him. I was like, "Oh my God, there's
Yeah.
like visually a lot of things. How the way
Uh-huh.
they touch on fanaticism in both films. I really liked, like, speaking of that, the opening of this movie I thought was super strong, like with the opening title sequence showing all the fans like just completely losing themselves
Mm-hmm.
with the stars in their eyes. I really really liked that visual.
No, I agree. I mean, I don't want to say too much too soon, but the him parallels I thought were very, very strong. Um, Even if you're just talking about like aesthetically, the idea of going to a superstar's private compound in the desert with
Yeah.
fans like parked outside, cheering, holding signs, excited, being crazy. Even if you just like stop there, that is like a very, very strong visual and
Crazy.
narrative
Yeah.
parallel. And then
Yeah.
there's like an additional angle of like a chosen one, if you will.
Yeah, I thought that that was really, really interesting too. And I also am so obsessed with Tony Hale, and I just wish
I
that
know.
he had been in the movie the entire time. What's his name in this? Such a
Soledad.
funny
Yeah.
Soledad, the fucking agent. Oh my God.
I
It's
wonder if
just
he like was
hysterical.
not available to be. I mean, I think maybe they also just liked him being so removed. He's like the touch point between Moretti and the rest of the world, and so he's kind of this like limbo place
Uh-huh.
between that shall never quite reach one or the other. But I also wonder if that was just like a logistical choice if he couldn't like be on set in some capacity.
Yeah, I'm just glad they had him.
He's
I-
fantastic.
He's amazing. I've been at a funeral with him before.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, it's a sad time to be excited to see someone. So I just,
Yeah.
you know, I was just like, I feel like very mixed emotions right now. It was crazy.
I wonder
Um,
if Mark Anthony Green is a fan of Veep though, because this felt like a really natural extension of his role on Veep, where he is kind of similarly for Vice President Selena Myers, what he is for Moretti here of not the same, obviously, because he's like right next to you all of the time in Veep. But it's like I'm your hype up man, and I'm the person that like feeds you all of the information, and I'm the one that's like your go between in many ways. He doesn't actually
mhm.
talk to other people so much in Veep. He's just there to like whisper in her ear and hold her bag. But
Mm.
I'm obsessed with him. I also just want to say that I'm right and I should never doubt myself. And I'm a genius and I do know how to read. And he was a music journalist for years, by the way. Mark Anthony Green was a music journalist for years. I just looked that up and
Nobody
nothing came
doubted
up on
you.
Google. And I was like, what the fuck? Anyway, I opened one of the articles. It's in there. We're good. Everything's fine. I might have made up the magazine that he worked at. I don't even know. That I might have made up. That might not be true, but it's fine. Um, but it shows his like understanding of the creation of a pop star and how it works. I mean, I really think the argument of this movie, like, yeah, there's like a cult aspect, there's all these different things going on, but it's just like the desire for fame and how it corrupts you inevitably, or like some sort of riff off of that. That's not like the main whole point of this. I think some people said that like some of the negative reviews for this said it was like convoluted, the like what he was trying to say, and I don't agree. I think it's pretty obvious, and I don't think like that the way this movie ends, like, I don't know, people drew a lot of like anti-journalism things, I think, from this movie, and I was like, that's not the point at all. I don't know where they're coming from
Yeah,
with
I don't know
that.
that I agree with that.
Yeah.
You could be against like journalism as an industry and how it functions these days, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And how you could argue it portrays a journalism that doesn't so much meaningfully exist anymore. But I don't know. I don't think it has like a negative stance towards journalism, celebrity
No.
music, or otherwise in general.
I think that, oh, I forgot his name again. What's their main guy's name?
Moretti.
Yeah.
Moretti. I'm
Not
only thinking
Moriarty.
Moriarty now because of you, Sydney.
That's all
God
I've
damn
that's
it.
what I've been thinking the entire
You
time. I'm like,
poisoned the well.
yes. He is a little evil guy. What can I say?
Well, it's
Real.
also hard because it's played by John Malkovich, so I just want to say Malkovich.
Malkovich.
Which, like, I might just do that, and you know what I'm fucking talking about, and we're just gonna go with it. Can you say the name one more time, Chelsea? Moretti.
No, you. Oh my god, you almost got me for a second. Because also I was Googling the movie being John Malkovich because I was like, what is that about again? That it's that guy's
I know,
name
I
and
haven't
was he
seen
in it?
it. He's in it, right?
Yeah, as a fictionalized version of himself. I've never seen it though.
No, I've never seen it either. That's another thing. I was talking to my friend Jackson earlier today about this movie, and I was just like, I'm just not. I know he's one of these like iconic actors, but I'm just not familiar with his work. So I know that like choosing him for this role was specifically a really good choice because he has this like larger than life, like kind of mysticism about him himself, in my opinion. That's just the vibe I get from him and what I've heard. But like I don't know if I've seen anything else with him.
I'm gonna look at his
Unprepared.
IMDb.
He's so good though. He
I know
was
it makes me
perfect
like
for
want
this.
to see more things with him.
Hi, Kitty. Yeah, I haven't seen any of those. Oh, he was in the Ripley TV miniseries. I was thinking about watching that. All of these things I've never seen. More things I've never
If
seen.
there's something extremely good in his filmography that we should start with, people should tell us.
Oh, he's
Oh,
in
he's in
Con
Good Book.
Air.
Oh.
I love
He's
that
in
movie.
Velvet Buzzsaw, which I always wanted to see.
Mm.
Oh, he's in The Man in the Iron Mask.
I haven't seen that.
You guys are saying
What?
lots of things. What?
He's in
Monica,
an
you've
Eminem
never
music
seen
video.
The Man
Oh.
in the Iron Mask?
No. I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's like a 90s Leonardo DiCaprio movie with like a French king, and he plays like the like a twin who's in a mask, and then they swap because the king's evil, and it's got the Three Musketeers. It's incredible. I was obsessed with this movie when I was like 8 or 9.
Okay, well, it sounds great. All the things you're saying are enticing me, but I've not seen it. I'm sorry to disappoint.
Wow. We're
Okay,
gonna
he has
fight when
been
I see you
in.
that.
He was in
He has
Warm
been in-
Bodies.
I was just about to say that. He's also in Bird Box. But I haven't seen Warm Bodies, and it must have been like a small. I mean, maybe it wasn't a small thing in Bird Box, but I just wasn't familiar with him as a star yet. I don't know.
He's also in Dangerous Liaisons.
Which sounds like a movie that I know to be famous.
It's
Never heard of
got
that in my life.
Glenn Close and Michelle Pfeiffer and Uma Thurman and like Keanu Reeves, and it's like a period piece. It's great.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll have to Transformers: Dark of the Moon. Okay, so he's been in blockbusters and art movies alike. So we'll
And
just
he's
have to
been
do
in
our homework
Drunk
on him
Boat.
later.
You don't know about Drunk Boat?
Oh, yes, of course, Drunk
Oscar
Boat.
Can't believe you
nominated
don't know
Drunk Boat.
about
Yes, yes,
Drunk
yes.
Boat.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think maybe I just had like my heart glasses on this morning, but I really enjoyed it this time around. I wasn't that into this movie the first time I saw it, but when I watched it this morning, I really fucked with it heavy. I don't know. I
I
don't know.
thought I
I think
remembered you liking it when we saw it.
well, I guess I just don't remember that. Um like I just don't remember like it didn't have like such a strong reaction that like I was like, hell yeah, we're doing Opus. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
well, we have to do it.
Yeah, we kind of put it in the middle of our lineup because I do think we both remembered it kind of being a stinker in some ways. I don't think that we necessarily thought that it was a stinker, just that nobody would really be waiting for us to cover Opus.
Yeah.
Because
It
while I
well,
think
I
this
don't think
movie
that
had
many people
so
saw
much,
it.
exactly, it had so much buzz before it came out, and then it felt like you, me, and my other friend who's married to Dr. Mark Green are the only people I know of who've seen it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I never even
No, I
heard of this
agree.
movie.
Yeah.
I feel it's crazy. I feel like it was like so hotly anticipated, and then it came out and everybody like had lost interest by then.
I don't even know about that. Well, I feel like it had like some sort of interesting it had some sort of Sundance aspect of it. It like premiered at Sundance or something. So I think we saw the Sundance buzz, but I don't think that that actually translated to mainstream appeal. Um, ugh, just got slapped in the face by my cat. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I know we made sure to go see it. We fucking went to the AMC where they filmed the
I know. I was like,
AMC.
why did I make you come all the way out? I don't remember, but I must have been
I
like dog
came
sitting
because
or
it was like
something.
your schedule, and I was like, I had nothing to do that day, so I was like, I'll drive an hour and a half.
You're like, why not?
Why fucking not? The great pilgrimage to see the place where Nicole
Magic
Kidman wore
happens.
that
Mhm.
sparkle suit.
Where
But anyway,
heartbreak happens, okay?
And a
I,
place
I,
exactly that.
yeah, in this exact place. But I really like the entry point into the movie. I love who through it's that it's through a music journalist's eyes and having him have that having Mark Anthony Green have this experience in the industry made it really clear because I mean he is a black man in the industry. Ayo,
Io.
say right
Ayo.
now, Ayo Edebiri.
Io
Edebiri.
Edebri.
Edebri. Why is there an I before the R? God damn it. It's so hard to learn to read live on a podcast.
English is a really hard language, okay?
It's so hard.
It makes no
Anyway,
sense.
Io is also like a black person and a black woman in the industry. So it's so interesting like seeing her like being new-ish, not even new. They call her a rookie, but it's like she's written a bunch of articles, you know, she's in the meetings pitching stuff. But like being up and coming in the industry and just being like shit on and having these like amazing ideas because they're taking them and running with them, but then not giving her like the the byline or the opportunity to write it herself. Um, like to have it go from that perspective to having her have this big opportunity to go to John Malkovich's I forgot his name again.
Moretti's compound.
Moretti's
Moriarty.
compound. I almost said Moriarty again. Moretti's compound. You know, and have this like special experience. You could see how much it pisses off her boss that she's even there. Stan Murray Bartlett, because he's the guy from fucking White Lotus, right?
Yes.
Yep. I love him. He is so handsome. And he's also from the episode of The Last of Us, the gay episode of The Last of Us that made me cry so hard that I shook my couch. I shook it and there were people sitting on it with me. Like it was violent, hysterical sobs. I just love our whole like motley crew once we get to the actual cult area compound. Juliette Lewis, oh my god.
I literally when I saw her face on the TV, I pointed at her, I said, Juliette Lewis!
I know her.
A star
I
in her
love
own
her!
right.
So fucking hot in this movie. That second wig, not the best. The first wig though with the bangs, oof, and her little thigh-high boots. I was like, Juliet, okay, she can get it. I already knew that, but great reminder. The one question I had, I only got to watch this once, so I missed some details. But Emily Katz, the influencer girl, the younger, gorgeous influencer girl, why was she chosen to be there?
Yeah.
Everybody else I know, like Juliette Lewis had been covering him for years. Same with Stan. Bianca is the paparazzi taking photos of him for years. We understand later on why Ariel Ecton was chosen. But what was her thing?
I like to say
I
he just had beef with her.
I mean that I have a theory, and the beef is part of it. And I was actually just pulling up HBO to check something in the movie related to that, which is so funny that you cycled to that immediately.
I read
But Sydney,
your
if you
mind.
have, I know, Sydney, if you have a theory about what the beef is, I would love to hear your take.
Um, he says this line like right after she dies of a horrible, awful death, and he just
And it
goes like, "Oh,
explodes and her
still
eyeball blows up.
pretty," and I think he just thought she was so pretty and he hated it, and so he tries
Like,
to
fuck that
murder
bitch.
her, and then he's like, "Oh, you're still pretty," and then goes away.
I think this still pretty was like mocking her, but I do think okay, I googled it to be like, was there a reason stated in the movie that I missed? And I found a Screen Rant article that was like breaking it down for everybody. And for Emily Katz, which is her character's name, it basically says like he doesn't respect influencers and he doesn't think that what they do is really art. And as a creative, he's like personally offended by that. And I
Ad
think,
scans.
yeah, I
Mhm.
think to a degree that is real. It also says that she's the one on the bus who's talking about like which of his girlfriends was her favorite. Um,
Mm.
and so she's invested in his celebrity gossip lore. And so she is a fan, and maybe that made her stand out from the crowd. What I was trying to find in the movie is there's a point where it like cuts back to the one of the fans outside the gates who's like looking at her Instagram, I think, and she'd posted a picture with Bill Lotto. Being
Yeah.
like, I can't believe I met the Bill Lotto. And so I wonder if to some capacity it's also like she loved Bill Lotto and was elevating Bill Lotto's celebrity status, and Bill Lotto is his enemy, his nemesis, it seems, to some
Mm.
degree. Um, and so that was part of the beef as well. But my more meta theory, I guess I'll just dive into that now because we're on the subject.
Mm.
Um, I think it ties into his overall philosophy, if we're getting straight into his motivations. Because one of the first things that we see related to the journey to the compound, as Ariel starts to do her research, she's like the only person in the party who's reading the book of levels or whatever it's called. And pretty much the only text that they show us from it is teach them young. And so I think she is part of his like building his ongoing outstanding lore for once this is all over. Like he knows if he kills a bunch of people and then has his fabulous
Oh.
finale and then all the levelists are gone, it's going to be like this true crime mystery that's going to get a lot of buzz, a lot of coverage, a lot of intrigue and interest. And so he's picked his like personal petty targets to be the people that he kills because he has beef with them, but also he needs somebody that's going to make it personal for the younger generations so that it's
Ding
not just
ding ding
like
ding. Yeah, totally
yeah,
agree.
it's not just like, oh, this old star killed a bunch of old journalism
Random
people
people.
or whatever. Yeah, like as fabulous as Juliette Lewis is as like a talk show host, who seemed to me kind of in the vein of like Wendy Williams. Um, like as interesting and as fabulous as that is, and even if that can speak to younger people, that's going to seem like an old person's medium in many ways. And so I think nobody really reacts to Emily Katz being there other than Ariel, who's like, Emily Katz. So I think that is like, even
Just
if
trying to
people
like
don't, yeah,
upset and enthrall her millions of young
right.
followers.
Even if the young people
That's
don't
smart.
really meaningfully know who Moretti is, he will at least be the guy who killed Emily Katz in that crazy, maybe murder, suicide, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So it is like bringing it home to the younger generations so that if people are going to talk about this forever, it's going to be talked about for a lot longer if you can get them in on it young as well.
I think that I love that, and I think that's definitely right and correct. I think this is like a weak part of the movie
Hmm.
where they don't flesh that out enough. Like, I feel like that character feels so random because it's just not. It's not. It's not like I'm asking them to be do the thing where they're like, "Oh yes," and earlier in the film this happened, like the thing that's like happening with new movies where they like make it for people who are watching it and looking at their phone
Who
at
are
the
like,
same
yeah.
time. They say the same thing 20
Well, say
times.
it out loud so that they are hearing it while they're doing hex away on their phone.
Yeah. I think that like it just wasn't fleshed out enough on the screen, like that whole part. And like the her and also the Bill Lotto stuff too. I loved all the Bill Lotto stuff. I think we could have used one more scene with him in the movie,
Yeah.
before he was gone, to have that be a more meaningful departure.
He was gone so fast.
He was gone so fast.
And I think, like,
Yeah.
logistically, you can reason your way through that by being like, well, they needed time to prepare his stuffed head to be mounted on the wall for the
Yeah.
grand finale. So he had to go first so that they had time to do that artistry. But if
Moriarty literally
it's,
just couldn't wait. They were like, I
yeah,
don't want to
it's
look at his
like,
dumb face.
yeah, totally. Water under the bridge. Anyway, you're going down first. Like I think
Well,
that's totally valuable, but if the whole thing is that they have crazy beef with each other and have hated each other for a long time, you want to see more of what that looks like instead of just saying like water under the bridge and then being like, actually, I don't forgive you.
I would have loved if somehow, like, they just changed the writing up a little bit, and like Ariel's character, or Ariel, would have been able to sit with the group of people specially invited for like 5 minutes before somebody bumped her and she had to get out of there and move to the other thing, because it's important that she has is not sitting with them, because she gets so much insight from the levelists themselves during that conversation, and that's super crucial to the lore and everything. But if there had just been one more second to like sort of understand the dynamics of those people, and then just even see those other invitees, like how they like tried to be fake and seem, because they all know that they've talked shit about him, so they have to like bring this like fakeness to the conversation. I just think it could have been an interesting opportunity, and like an opportunity to see all these like honestly incredible actors that we had. Not that I'm familiar with every one of them, but it was a really great cast of characters, and we don't get a ton of time with those other actors. So
Hmm.
like was one more scene to get a little bit more of that dynamic out would have been fun for me. I think it would have just, solidified a few more people, so you'd care more as people drop. But I
Or
mean,
even
it's
if
not
you
the
get
point of
more
the
of his
movie.
death scene, you know what I mean? Instead of just kind of seeing it like
Hearing it.
almost from afar the way that the scene is portrayed.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
I think they were trying to be like kind of under the wraps about it still,
Yeah.
even though they're going like this guy's getting killed right now. You know what I mean? Even though they explicitly show you it, they're trying to still keep their distance so you're not sure exactly like why things are
Yeah, is he
happening.
actually dead? Like,
Mhm.
are they
Like,
just like
what's going
fucking with
on?
him, or like, yeah, like, and I think that's fine. I think I like it better that they're not like, oh yeah, they chopped his fucking head off, you know what I mean? Because it's the first kill and you don't know what's going on. But I just think that like it just felt too bad. We had all these great character actors, and we're not
Yeah.
getting a bunch out of them. Not that I know I'm super familiar with Mark Silverstone or anything like that, who plays Bellotto, but still.
But yeah, it felt
Uh,
like Bill existed only 50 feet away from the camera at all times. It's like Ariel on the bus goes, "Whoa, Bill and then you hear them across the room being like, "Water under the bridge," and then he's dead.
yeah,
And then Emily is next, and it's like it seemed so personal the way that she's like second in line, and then it's like, I mean, I think it is almost less personal technically logically within the film than what comes later, because it's like he wants to torture those three particularly and like see them
mm-hmm,
terrified and like have them, not that she doesn't get that because she's alive in the beanbag still,
yeah,
um but her death is like so over the top in so many ways that it feels like there has to be a stronger motive there than I hate influencers, although I do think that's part of
destroying
it
her
because
beauty.
Yeah.
yeah, her vanity as an influencer is what he is attacking. And then also when he is doing his own Q&A after the puppet show, the way that he poses a question is so like what do you think? And I kind of wonder if that is what Emily Katz
Talks
sounds
like,
like potentially. Yeah, because we don't
yeah.
really see much about her other than she's like a beautiful
See,
young
that's what I
woman.
mean, though. Maybe it's the edit. Like, I feel like there's a little bit of holes in this that maybe like they left too much on the cutting room floor. Like, I appreciated the length, that it wasn't like a super, super long movie. I like it feels like a movie that could have felt really long if they drew it out more. But I feel like there's a lot of Ariel running around the compound, and we
She
could have
does like
cut
to
like
jog.
some of that. Um.
I feel like
It had some
ultimately
pacing issues.
yeah, it was ultimately kind of pushed as like Ayo Edebiri's movie, and it very much is about her. And then Moretti is like such a star that it's hard to take your eyes off of him. So he obviously also like takes up a lot of space in the movie.
Yeah, and he
And
has to. He's
then
the supervillain.
right. But then it's like everybody else is kind of just like relegated to the sidelines in many ways. Like they're just kind of like set
Hmm.
dressing for Moretti's ultimate plan or for to be there to like belittle Ariel's experience in many ways.
Yeah, I feel like that could be due in part to the fact that like this is written and directed by Mark Anthony Green, and it is his like first one. So I think it's still a strong, like super strong start for a movie, but I do think that like it
Could
could
have
have
used
been
a
fleshed
second set
out
of
in more
eyes.
Mm.
places to like, I don't know, just like make it feel more whole. Doesn't feel It's not
Authorial
like it's
bias kind of
on.
thing.
Yeah, it's not like it's not whole, but like
It just
there is
feels like something
something
missing.
that's missing. There is something that's missing that
It
like
doesn't
it
have
does
that
leave
je ne
me
sais quoi.
wanting more. That I loved the fucking ending. A lot of people didn't like that. I love that. I thought that was brilliant. I thought that was all really good, but it was just like meanders a little bit in the middle where it could have been like tightened up. Like I wanted more of John Malkovich. He is just so enigmatic in this. I loved all the flashback stuff that they did too, and so sparingly. All of like his what you saw from the 90s. I wanted more of that somehow, but it's okay. I don't have to have it. I just wanted it because what a cunty badass. Like
Hmm.
wow. He's serving cunt. He's the definition of serving cunt in the 90s. Like absolutely 10 out of 10. And was it Dina Simone? That song fucks.
Hmm.
That song is so good. Are
Yeah.
you kidding me? Why aren't we bumping that now? Stop the podcast. I gotta go dance.
Silent disco
Like,
because we don't want to get copyrighted.
for real, it's so good. And the new songs are fun too. Like, not as good as Dina Simone, but when we hear part of, what is it, Hail Caesar? Or no?
Caesar's Request is the name of
Caesar's
the
Request.
album.
Yeah.
And then the two songs, because I was listening to them in the car. Tomorrow is the one that he like lets them listen as a first preview in their rooms in the compound. That's the one that's like the
Oh,
last
I'm
time I was in love was when
16.
I was 16. Yeah, and then 35 millimeters is the one that he plays for them when he's in his little Daft Punk metal suit.
I love that suit. He's a
And 35 millimeters as a song also slaps.
yeah. The music, like
It's
they
crazy.
killed. They killed on the music. I'm sorry, Salika, but if we're
Well,
doing a ranking here, this
one thing that I
music
thought,
wise, this surpasses the trap music for me.
yeah. One thing that I thought was interesting is that they only have 3 songs. Like I was looking at IMDb trivia and it was like John Malkovich performed all the songs himself, and you can find them on the Moretti Opus EP on Spotify. And it really is just 3. Like they didn't do like a whole soundtrack of Moretti songs. And I think that helps keep it delicious, and you only have to come up with 3 songs that are good, so that helps. You don't have to do a whole
That's
15
all you
song
need.
album.
That's all you need.
And
You don't
Yeah.
need
also,
to do what they did in trap, but they were doing that to launch Salika's music career.
yes,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like we were saying last week, I was also thinking about that a lot while I was covering this movie. Is like if they had written Trap to be about a pop star concert and it was based on the concept, and the concept was the driving force, you would work with some like really high profile actual pop stars to help write those songs. Or at least some writers, you know what I mean? What's his name? Justin Vernon, I think. Justin Vernon, who had no, that's not.
That's Bon Iver.
Yeah, that's not who
Yeah.
I'm thinking of. Um, the guy who works with Chapel Roan and who worked on Grease: Rise of the Pink Ladies. And I'll find his name. But
Ross?
he like puts
No.
out bangers. And if they had hired somebody like that to like come in and beef up the music, you know what I mean? I think they could have had incredible things on there. But the point wasn't to have the most amazing real to life pop songs. It was like to allow Saleka to showcase her abilities
As a pop
and
star.
yeah, and like we
Yeah.
said, she didn't do a bad job, but she
No.
doesn't already have that star power on her own, so that was not something that she could bring to that project necessarily. But
Yeah.
Justin
No,
Tranter,
this.
Justin Tranter is who I'm thinking of.
Oh, okay.
And he
Oh my
worked on
God.
like Good Luck Babe, and some other like really incredible songs. And he's like Grammy nominated. He's amazing.
That's a beat.
So
Oh my God. Yeah, no. It's hot. Oh, what?
Justin Tranter also worked on Love Myself with Haley Steinfeld, the masturbation anthem.
I love me. Yeah, I love myself and I don't need anybody else. I love me.
Mm-hmm. Cake by the Ocean by DNCE.
Oh my God. That
Hands to
song.
Myself, another
Can't
masturbation
keep my hands to
anthem.
myself.
Sorry,
These are all
Justin
the
Bieber.
songs
Like,
that
you know
used
what I
to
mean? That's what I'm
play.
saying.
These are all the songs that played when Sydney and I worked in radio.
Yeah, these are all bangers.
Yeah, well, they're all the songs we used to play incessantly while we sat at work together. So
Yep.
they always remind me of you.
I still play all of these songs all the time in my playlist.
That's when I met Haley Steinfeld when she was promoting that song.
I love that song.
Incredible.
And she's so sweet. I love her. Queen.
I also love her song that she did for one of the 50 Shades movies.
Oh, really? I haven't heard that one, I don't think.
I think it's called like Capital Letters or something like that. It's a banger. It's a bop.
Haley Steinfeld, more pop music when?
I know. She just had a baby, unfortunately. So
I know.
probably
That's
not
why she
soon.
missed the Oscars. I was like, where is that bitch?
Where's our
Oh.
girl?
Also, I have to give a shout out back to this movie, sorry. Just for a second. Then we can go back talking about Haley Steinfeld. So you know how each invited guest has their own liaison or whatever they call it, escort throughout. So Ariel's escort is Belle, and she's played by Amber Midthunder, and that is the star of Prey, my favorite movie. Anyway, so I love her. She's so good. She's so stunning. It's too bad that like she's not given a single fucking word to say in this movie, but she
Yeah.
she serves face crazy.
She does a really good job of standing out despite IMDb trivia saying she has like one singular line of dialogue.
Yeah. Well, she's got just like she takes you on a face journey.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And she looks so
And they
disgruntled
have
all
that
the time.
whole
She's really good at being like fucking sus.
Yes, and
And
I mean,
imposing.
again, she doesn't say anything, and it's not really a chase per se, but the jogging scene where she's just like running after her. You know,
So funny. Slow
it's a strong
motion.
scene. It's really interesting. Um, she
Does a
kicks
good
the door down when they're like trying to
yeah.
see if she's in her room. She's got standout scenes even if she is essentially silent.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're saying that just because she like was serving, you know what I mean? Because IMDb trivia said the film's casting director is Angelique Midthunder, her mommy. And so I wonder if they were just like, well, I know who can make this role into something special, or just like, well, it's a non-speaking role, so why not give it to my daughter? But
Well, I
obviously
mean,
she
yeah,
slays it.
she already had started in Prey a few years before. That was 2022. She's been in quite a few things
Oh my God, Prey came
recently.
out way
She's
longer ago, but you're
Princess,
right. That was like a
yeah.
pandemic
She's
release.
Princess Yue in the new Avatar show too. Not that I'm ever
Oh.
gonna watch that. I was just so excited to see Amber Midthunder because one, sickest name in the game.
I know when I saw her name in the credits when we watched this movie, because I hadn't seen Prey yet. When I saw her name in the credits, I was like, oh, Soleil. And then you were like, that's the girl from Prey. Or maybe you said that earlier when she first came on screen. I don't know. But
Yeah, she is so good in this. So I really like that. And I mean, just in general, I love all of the folks who are playing the Levelist. Like
Jorg.
they do it so well. Jorg is incredible.
I love
Jorg
Jorg.
He's
is
so
so
scary a little
good.
bit. The little
Oh,
girl is so
totally.
cute.
Maud.
Maud, she's so cute, and then Najee is so handsome and like really good too. And then Rachel, oh my God, she's the best because she's just so like chipper and like smooths over everything. And she also has the most iconic and important scene in the entire movie
Yeah.
where she's like, so what's going on in your, what did she say? Lady Forest?
Your Lady Garden.
Garden.
Lady Garden.
And then she says
Oh,
like one or two other beautiful metaphors before she's eventually like, girl, your vagina.
Vagina. I don't want to meet
I,
anybody that makes me shave and or trim my bush.
no, that's the whole thing. It's not shaved. It's not shaved. He wants everybody to have a bush. That's important
But a
to me.
tidy
That's why I
bush.
like him so
Yeah.
much. I am all for a tidy or an untidy bush. It can be however
You just gotta have something.
level. It could
Please
it
do
could
God.
be expansive. It can be wild and crazy. But I love that he's like, you cannot have a shaved pussy. That's
I
for
mean,
sure.
that's fine, but like, she was trimming it. I was like,
Yeah, and after she was already all dressed, was she
Yeah.
Yeah.
commando
Wouldn't you
under
do that
there? Or it's
before?
like they didn't need her to take her undies off because you can keep your bush. They're just gonna trim up what is exposed outside of the panty line, or
They just
I
did
don't
that
know.
just so we could have the shot with the pubes falling onto the Prada shoes. That's 100% why they did it that way. That's literally, that's actually got the 100% the reason because that was a stunning visual
Yeah.
for sure. Does it
What I
make a
wanna
lick of
know-
sense? No, it does not.
It does not.
As
What
a
I wanna know
stylist
is if-
myself, that would never happen.
But if she had shown up clean shaven, would they have given her a merkin? Like, what would
A
the procedure
merkin.
have been?
How would
I
he
think
know?
yes, 100% a pussy toupee. Are you kidding me? 100%.
I just also think that's a super fun thing for a celebrity to like have that be one of their, not like it's not his rider or whatever, you know, but that's where all of the like crazy weird celebrity
Everybody around
demands
me
come
must
in.
have a bush.
Yeah, everybody around me must have like a nicely maintained bush. And if you come here and you don't have a bush that's nicely maintained, we will either provide you a bush or we will maintain your bush for you. And
So
everyone
fucking
has
funny.
done it. And every star that you can think of that you've ever seen interact with Moretti ever, they've done it. So get your pussy out, queen.
It's literally hysterical because that means that they did that to Chuck Norris.
That what a
Um,
timely R.I.P. Chuck Norris. That story was
know.
so long and so dumb, though.
Oh, it was so dumb. But I loved it was just him being like, I have famous friends, like, by the way, and everybody is trying to impress me.
He loves to do a little joke also. He's got a couple little jokes,
But okay, back to the Bush thing for 1 second. I think that it's also a perfectly bizarre and uncomfortable power display where he's like, they're not doing anything to you that's explicitly like a textbook violation. It's not like they're touching you or like it's not an assault or something like that, but it's like making you change a part of your body to like kowtow to what like he wants, and it is in like a private zone. So it's a violation of your like privacy, but like you're like you can explain it away to yourself being like, okay, well, it's not that crazy, like, okay, that's weird and eccentric, but whatever. But it's like really like a powerful like power display, like it really like would unsettle you, like take you off balance. And so I think it's
And
brilliant.
also, it's like weirdly intimate to have somebody shave you.
Totally.
for
100%.
sure.
It's so intimate. And
Especially
like
the
so
way
you
they do it,
have
where they're
that.
just getting
Yeah.
up under her. It's not like they're getting her on the table and shaving her. She's just getting up under her dress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like that lead in to then the scene where he's in his silver suit and he's performing his song and he's like simulating all of these sex acts on all of them. I don't know, it just like starts to like he's starting to like cross the line or toe at the line, you know, in a more serious way, and like show that he like feels like he can do anything with these people and they'll let him because look, everybody is. It is just it's I thought that was very juicy part of the movie where they start really like amping up the power dynamics and like the level of like insanity that this man possesses.
It's also just so interesting. It's such a power display of like you're gonna do this because I say so. It doesn't nobody's gonna see it. I'm not gonna see it. I don't need you to prove it to me. This is not for any relevant aesthetic thing. It's just if you want to have access to me, you're going to do this like loyalty test almost to show how far you would go, how embarrassed you will allow yourself to be part of this
Mhm.
experience because I'm a fucking star.
That's the whole thing. That's the whole point
I'm trying to think
of
if
the
there's
whole
somebody
movie.
famous enough that I would do anything to my bush for.
I
I don't I don't
recently
know.
trimmed my bush in anticipation of seeing Jacob Elordi.
Well, that's fair. Everybody does that.
So
You didn't trim
he
your
didn't
bush
even
for this
have to
podcast episode
ask.
on theme.
Yeah.
No, no,
Wow.
Wow.
no.
But I'm right here, Monica,
He's
and I'm
right here,
Moretti.
Monica.
It's my birthday tomorrow. Sorry, spoiler alert. We recorded it early, and my actual birthday's tomorrow. So I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want with my bush leading up to my birthday.
It's me and my bush against the world.
My bush. Yeah, but I did clean it up for Jacob Elordi. That's the last time I did that. So
That's
I didn't
actually
even see him
so
up
valid.
close. I was
Just in
like,
case.
Yeah,
I
Going
gotta
to the
just
One
shave my
Direction
entire body
concert, you
just in
know.
case. Yeah,
gotta do
exactly. You
a
never know.
full shave for the Justin Bieber concert.
Oh yeah,
Mhm,
I did not
mhm.
shave off my bush to be so clear. I would never do
No,
that. And Jacob wouldn't want me to. Just so
no,
we're all
he
on the same
wouldn't.
page. He would not want that.
He would not.
I love that. I was like, oh, I can't wait to have an opportunity to talk about Bush on the pod again.
I love talking about
Jesus.
Bush at all times.
It's
Big
so
fan. Big
important.
fan
It's so
over
important. But
here.
it's great when it's explicitly brought up like this. Just really nice. Just thank you so much for
We have a
that,
reason to
Mark
bring it up and
Anthony
not one of
Green.
us just bringing up Bush, you
Mhm,
know?
Exactly.
mhm, mhm.
Exactly.
Different.
Like they can't get mad at us this time. It's in the
Yeah.
text.
The
uh,
ancient text.
oh my god. Also, another thing that I thought was very fun to like show you that like this perfect society is a little bit strange. It's like the scars on the hands and the lead up to the reveal of why that is. And just like all of the jargon and like poetic language around that ritual, thought was really, really interesting. I really wanted to watch this again so I could jot down some of the like quotes from the literature of the Leveless. I don't know if you did that, Chelsea. It seems like something you would do, but it's okay.
It does seem like something I would do if I had infinity time, but today was not
Yeah.
that kind of day.
But there was something that was like, oh, okay. Let me cook for a second. Let me reach deep into my brain.
I'll pull
He
up the
said
subtitles
something
if you'd like.
he said something like the the reason that we do this is that the value of the pearl is more is more valuable, sorry to say value twice, than like the thousands of empty shells or whatever. Um and it like basically to say that like and it sorry, what were you going to say? And then let me cook on my brain in my brain for one more second. I think it's like it leads to what the whole thing with the Leveless is, which is like there is no equality. Some people, oh, we all love equality, but there's no such thing as equality. Some people are better than other people. And so like the obviously the oyster with the pearl inside of it is better than the oyster without. I disagree because I would eat all of those oysters.
I'm gonna eat all of them anyways.
If they were on the half shell, girl, I'd shuck them either way. I have a shucker. This movie made me scared of shucking them, though. Once again, I already was.
You gotta wear the gloves.
Yeah, you gotta wear the gloves. Oh my god, that was ugh. It went all the way into his hand.
Yeah,
and they all have like cuts on their hands too. Like
I have the subtitle pulled up if you'd like the exact quote.
Oh yeah, please.
He says, well, the meditations of Level teaches us that the worth of a single pearl surpasses the value of all empty shells, and that balance, true balance, exists not in the notion that all things are equal, but in the realization that all things are not equal. And then that's when she's like, true balance? Like sleeping for 12 hours and then standing for 12 hours? And can I ask you about this other rumor? And that's when he like shuts it down because he's like, this is not about what I've brought you here for specifically, Ariel. Is not to comment on the gossip and the rumors that these other bitches have dragged up over the years, but to spread my message, to really get to the core of what we're doing here. The meditations of Level, the idea of value, of creativity being embodied in a person and not elevating them to godlike status of creation.
Yeah, I think the brilliance of this, like, it's not the brilliance of this movie, but like something that I thought was so fascinating about Moretti's character, pregnant pause, as I try not to say Moriarty, about Moretti's character is like, what do you do when you're at the top of the game, the most famous man in the world, and that isn't enough for you? And instead, he was like, he realized he has these people who worship him with the stars in their eyes. And he's like, what if I could take that power and multiply it? He's like, does it matter to be in the public eye and have all the world looking at me? Or does it matter more to like have fewer people
worship?
But true worship, true worshipful fanaticism where they literally are my slaves, essentially. I don't know. I mean, like, they seem like they're happy. So I don't know what's going on. It seems fucked up. I don't know how cults work. It seems bad. But like what if I bring it in and have more power and sway in a more real, serious way? And then like reset for 30 years and then let's like shoot it back out again into the world and dominate tenfold, you know? It's so interesting. It's so interesting because like it's true. It just keeps coming up again and again in society. We keep saying what, like, I was talking to somebody recently about how half of the podcast is Chelsea telling me that a white man that I like is bad. Like, because I was telling people, I was at my friend's birthday party last week and I was telling people about how Liam Neeson is bad. and they didn't know. And I was like, yeah, like someone was like, oh, do you cut that part out when Monica finds out that the person is
No.
bad? And I'm like, no, that's half the podcast because everybody's bad because they all like reach this level. People reach a level of fame, and like some people can be good. Okay, yeah. But like so you reach a level of fame and you get everything all the time, and it can corrupt. So it can corrupt 90% of people to just
Like
take that
everybody on the Epstein list.
positive,
Well,
that all of that power. Okay, I'm not gonna touch that. But like all of that, like yet all those yeses all the time and getting everything that you want all the time, then you expect that all the time, and it just like it can corrupt your morality. I don't know.
I
What
was
were you gonna say?
actually looking at, I don't remember where I saw this earlier, but there was a conversation happening somewhere online about how it sucks now that people, and it's like bad, um that the era of like Tumblr, your fave is problematic, has led to this culture where it's like you can't say that you liked anything without someone waiting to be like, actually, did you
They
know that this person involved in that is bad, did a
Yeah.
bad thing? And I do think it is like a very complicated, like Liam Neeson in particular is like, he said one very horrible thing in an
Yeah.
interview. Does that make him
A
bad? Did he
bad
say a bad
person.
thing? It's definitely part of the
Like,
celebrity
what does it mean?
culture where you are elevated to the level of celebrity. People are always telling you that you're fascinating. You believe that you're fascinating. You believe people want to know everything about you. You just forget to like moderate yourself, or you feel the need to like confess these wrongs in whatever capacity. And then it's like if you do one bad thing, you're sometimes like stuffed down to this one thing in your life. Are people good or bad, or are they a
Yeah.
sum of all of their actions? I don't know. I think it's a much more nuanced conversation. I hate to be the party pooper, but I never want someone to tell you later and then you be like, and I said that on the record.
No,
Now I
no,
feel
no, no, no,
stupid.
no. No, no,
Um
no, no, no. I think it's important for me to find out about these things. I'm not complaining. I was saying it
I
like it was a funny thing that happens on the pod because every time I'm like, "Oh my God, it's my favorite guy," and you're like, "No,
yeah.
Kevin Spacey's bad."
Actually,
And I already knew about Kevin Spacey. I already knew about
Kevin
Kevin
Spacey.
Spacey.
that one I had down. Yeah. I
No!
think it is just like kind of to some degree never meet your idols, and to some degree don't stand individual people that you don't know as people. And to some
And
degree people do good and bad things all of the time, and
exactly.
people make mistakes and people learn from them. And the problem with celebrities and the nature of celebrity journalism as it is today is like this one headline becomes 50 headlines because everybody wants the clicks, and then the discourse goes on forever because now it's about the Instagram comments that people are leaving on that celebrity's Instagram, or a hashtag that took off. The tweets are about it. Now you've got 500 articles on this one thing. I don't know. It's like the toxic nature of celebrity and also entertainment journalism being used lightly in this particular conversation. News journalism online being turned into a click based business where it's not about, is this valuable content to share or worthwhile to discuss, but what can get us the most clicks, and how can we frame things as outrageously as possible, even if it's not actually representative of like the content of what this piece is, so just that we can get people to click it, so that we can get ad views, tell our advertisers we got this many
Hmm.
clicks, they give us money because nobody pays for news anymore. I don't know. It's just like a whole
No, it's a whole
broken system.
thing. It's a whole broken system. And this movie tries to say things about it. I don't know if it's fully effective, but it's interesting. And it's an interesting take. But like back to like the whole celebrity thing, like another side of that is like who amongst us hasn't said something fucked up and that was messed up or whatever. And
Me
you
all the
know, you
time.
learn. Yeah. and you learn from it. But we don't have, except for 2 hours a week, 2.5 hours a week, a microphone in front of our mouths that's going directly at. We luckily just have a micro niche.
Yeah, we're just
group
micro niche
here
internet
that
celebrities. It's fine.
we would not be on Moretti's radar enough to have us come to his cult and get slain.
But
like,
what if we were?
But what if we were?
That'd be
I
crazy.
don't think he likes podcasters, because I think that's part of the reason why
Bill Otto went podcast.
Bill Otto went podcast, and he's killing him. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is this: like, for example, the Timothy Chalamet thing that just is going on right now, where he's actually absolutely being like villainized in the press now because he was too out there talking all the fucking time, and then he said one dumb thing, which, like, it was a fucked up thing what he said about opera and ballet, but like, I don't think he meant it necessarily the way that everyone took it, but he'd just been like so obnoxiously in the press lately. And he also is the one straight boy in the theater production. And so he is probably a little bit of a dick. I'm not trying to defend him, but it's just like, but like, now everyone fucking hates him. You know what I mean? And I just saw this TikTok today that was like, be prepared for and hold strong when the world tries to make you hate Zendaya later in this year, because she's got 5 movies coming out this year and she will be on press tours for all of them. And like, it'll be like the Anne Hathaway effect too, where like she was too overexposed, and then everyone
Jennifer
hates
Lawrence, Taylor Swift. It happens a lot with women.
But any celebrity, you can have this like oversaturation in the media where people start to get sick of you. And I think that's a lot of what like the Timothy Chalamet thing is. It's a lot of these issues all in one. People are overexposed to Timothy Chalamet. Timothy Chalamet was like maybe trying to make a point not about how he thinks that ballet and opera aren't worthwhile art forms, but about how, like, as an industry, they're kind of fading from cultural consciousness as opposed to the way that they like were the art forms of the day back in the day. And he doesn't want that for movies, and that's like a valuable thing to discuss. But then you get these like headlines that shrink it down to this one quote without nuance, because that's what gets headlines. And then you also have all of the operas and the ballets and those influencers and those people online who are like using this to capitalize on like, give us your attention. If we can get your outrage, we can get your eyes, and good for them for using what they've got. But it's
press is
exactly all of that same thing of like everything in one. But in terms of Moretti and Opus, another thing it made me think about is like, and maybe this has always been an issue, but the way that, again, the internet works these days, and the way that the internet allows us all to be in conversation with each other all of the time and connected to each other all of the time, is the like inability of the artist or of stan culture to accept any sort of critique of the work. You put out a new album and Pitchfork gives it a bad rating or whatever, and then all of a sudden the artist themselves is like beefing on Twitter with whoever wrote that article, or their stans are coming to be like, there's that whole sorry to Halsey, but it is funny. But there was that whole thing. Sorry to Halsey. Somebody somewhere, maybe Pitchfork, I don't know, I don't remember now, but some music critique didn't like one of her albums, and she made a joke that was to some capacity about destroying their offices or something, and then it was like those offices were in the new World Trade Center. And so
Halsey did 9/11.
Yes. And then everybody was like, oh, and it was like funny, you know what I mean? Nobody really thought that she was like bomb them, but it was just, you know, it's one of those things. It's such a thing now where it's like you see the artists. Maybe back in the day they could have personal beef to the capacity that we see in this movie, where it's like Stan called one of his Moretti's older albums overrated, and Moretti held that in his heart, and now he's gonna kill him for saying that all these years later.
Moretti's a Scorpio.
Me, if we actually got famous.
So like maybe that culture has always kind of existed, but it's so in the forefront today. It's so accessible to people to like make their voices heard, and then it's that same kind of thing where it's like that outrage can now also become a news article that gets clicks, and
Mhm.
it fuels the
Rage bait,
fire,
baby.
and the cycle keeps going.
Yeah, it's an interesting, yeah, this is really interesting rumination on fame here. I feel like again, it's like a little not fully baked. Like there's more to dive into, but again, like we don't have, it's not just about that. There's so much going on. There's a cult, there's this, there's that. There's like too many things happening to really dive into it completely, but I like that it gets you to start thinking about. And it is so interesting, just like the creation of this levelist cult, like how he has reached out and found other people who or have the potential to be influential in their own way. So he can kind of like it's like an MLM, multi-level marketing. He's got a
Mhm.
guy who's going to get 20 more guys and blah blah blah. Like that's how it spreads. And it's honestly a brilliant business plan. It's kind of scary.
I'm gonna get some guys. You get your guys. We're gonna spread it.
It's really the construction of his plan fascinates me as well. Like one of the things that happens in this movie is one of the things that I really liked about the discourse surrounding sinners in terms of the I think it was the Choctaw tribe
Mm.
vampire hunters, where everybody like loved, they wanted more of them in the movie, but everybody loved that it was like, sun's gone down, we did what we could, we're out of here, we're not, this is not our business, we're not getting involved. And that's a lot of what Ariel is trying to do in this movie, is like, something really weird is happening, nobody wants to listen to me about it, that's fine, I'm just gonna get the fuck out of here, I'm just gonna
Yeah,
go. I
This
don't
is
need
it
to
for
save
me.
everybody, but I can tell
I
something
tried.
really weird is
No one cared.
happening. I don't, yeah, I tried to talk to everybody about it. I went, hey, Stan, do you think you got shot with an arrow maybe on purpose? Hey, what's Juliette Lewis's character? Don't you think it's weird that Bill Lotto is not here anymore? Isn't anybody concerned about where Bill Lotto is and what happened to him? I know they excused it with the long massage that one time, but this is now the second or third day that he's not here.
Still
So
getting massaged.
what's going on? Now Emily also has had this like horrible, I guess maybe allergic reaction, and they're telling
Yeah.
us she's fine, but we can't see that for ourselves. I'm ready to, I don't care anymore. I was so excited about this opportunity, but I'm not even given the opportunity in my journalism because Stan is like smushing me and making me small so that he can be big. I'm just gonna
Mhm.
go. I just want to leave. I don't
No,
care
she's
about
so
the
smart.
answers. That's what people like want from their protagonists a lot of the times in horror movies. But the construction of his plan is such that she can't go, and they're not just like making it logistically difficult for her because, oh, Louise, slow Louise went into town, but also, oh, these ATVs can only go 10 miles and then it's another 40
Mm-hmm.
miles to the airport. What are you gonna do, walk it? And then they pull out Maud again, the little girl who befriended her at the first dinner when she got
The
squished out of the
puppet
big kids
show.
table, to be like, I thought you were supposed to sit by me, it's
I
not
thought we were
fair. Yeah,
friends.
and you can tell it's manipulation and that Maud has been like prepped for this, because as soon as Moretti is like, well, that building is the closest to the gate, why don't you just come and watch the puppet show until you see Louise is pulling up and then you can go right over there? And then Maud goes, if that's what you're comfortable with, like that is not a childlike thing to say, that is like a line that has
Mm-mm.
been fed to her,
Drilled
Hundred
into
prepped
her.
for
percent.
her.
100%.
But they're doing everything they can to get her in position.
The
No,
And
puppet
it's a
show is wild.
brilliant,
yeah.
it's a fucking brilliant plan because they make it all seem, not everything, but like they make everything that happens in the aftermath of this exciting, crazy, maybe suicide pact that all these folks made, they make it all seem like it was Ariel's idea, that she's doing what she wants to do. And that's what I think is the most brilliant part of this movie is that like Ariel is our protagonist. We're supposed to be rooting for her. We're supposed to be loving her so much, and we do. She's great. But she's also a flawed human, too. And she says exactly that in the beginning of this movie when she's having that conversation with her sort of boyfriend, I guess. Not really sure. He's cute, though, by the way.
I think his name is like Kent. I saw that in the IMDb
Yeah.
trivia. I never would have known it from the movie.
But, like, he, like, she says what her plan is, and her plan is just to reach fame also. Like she says a lot of other words, but that's what it boils down to. Like he's very harsh when he says she has no perspective, but like what she says her plan is to like write about famous people so people care about me and think I'm interesting and then I don't know, I'll write a book about something. Like she doesn't want to write a book because she has this amazing idea for a book or she's passionate about writing a book. She was just like I want to get famous enough that people care what I have to say so I can write a book. And so, again, she's also just rooting for this fame and power for herself. And so she's an easy mark. And I think that that's why I thought it was is a very interesting line when Moretti's like, whew, pregnant pause every time, so I say the right thing. Moretti's like, I read your writing and you had that one line that was like she had like a deliciously weak chin or something like that. And I was like, what about that makes him like her? But like it's that she's like even in this 500 word thing, like it's 500 words and you're using 4 of them to like cut down the person that you're like doing this little bio on or whatever it was. I'm not sure. Like I don't know, she's also like belittling that person to make herself feel smart. So I don't know if that's exactly a correct read, but like I think he felt some of that like
She would be a good
desire.
vessel to spread their message.
She
Yeah.
has some she's not this like perfect pillion of morality. She has those flaws that he can exploit as well.
I think it's in part exactly because of what Kent says in the beginning. She's coming to this in many ways as a blank slate.
Mm-hmm.
That he can feed the philosophy to and kind of lead her to see and experience what he
Mm-hmm.
wants her to see and experience. And to some degree, we do see that she is able to assert her own agenda and autonomy in the sense that Rachel and Amber Midthunder's character, whose
Belle.
name Belle, when they come to the door to get her and they like Belle kicks down the door to get inside, they're clearly like not expecting her to have escaped at that point. And that kind of made me think of Trap in the sense that like they have cameras, they're always monitoring, but it's like they don't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily have like walkies so that they're always, in communication. Just seeing something in one room doesn't mean that everybody knows it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And so even though they're monitoring her, she's able to sneak out, look around, get more information for herself before they kind of close in on her in that way. But while she comes to it with her own thoughts, her own perspective, she's not a blank slate. And that's also part of what they like is like she's a good, he likes her writing. He likes the way that she approaches journalism. We see that she's like the only person there doing her homework. She's the only person there reading
Mm-hmm.
Meditations of Level, asking questions about it, asking questions about the community and being like, what does this mean? What's going on here? Because she's like a newcomer, she's not just like, oh, this is typical Moretti eccentricity. Moretti, he makes us shave our bush and he's got a cult. It's like because she's a newcomer, she can kind of look around and be like, what is going on? Yeah.
Yeah.
But what he says to her is he says, we felt you were a pure vessel, completely uncorrupted by success, uncorrupted by cheap shots for clicks. looking through your background, I read a story you'd written about a school board lady. She says it was only a 500-word piece, and he says you wrote that her chin was delightfully inconspicuous. I needed my chin in good hands. So it's also just like he likes her like eye for detail with little things too. He's like, she's gonna be, it's not just that she's a blank slate, because there's a million blank slates out there. Like Ken says, most people are medium. But it's that she's a blank slate that he also can trust. The story he wants out there will be in good hands if she's the one to write it. Because when she shows up to interview him at the prison, he only has one correction, and it's like, my boots actually weren't cream colored alligator, they were smoke colored python. Other than that, though, beautiful work.
And you wouldn't have known the difference.
And the
You're not a
layman
diva
wouldn't
like
have
me.
known with their common eyes.
No, 100%. Yeah, I thought that ending was brilliant. I loved it. I thought it was a great twist. I thought it was great. I don't know. Why didn't people like it? I don't understand why people didn't like it.
Here's the thing. The ending for me, like, it made sense, but it just didn't, like, hit how I would like it to. Know what I mean? I was like, it makes sense, but, like, it didn't, like, move me, quite frankly. I did like the little, like, afterwards when she's talking on, like, Good Morning whatever, the knockoff one, and she looks and sees that the newscaster has little pearls on her necklace, and so she's like, fuck. And then, like, she's like, what do I do? What do I do? Like, do I keep talking about this? Like, if I don't talk about this, like, I'm gonna lose my fame, basically. So, like, she's in a pickle.
Yeah. No, I think it's really, really interesting the way that they do the ending, because you can completely again, his construction is very well put together. I love when she goes into the Moretti Museum. That's such like an incredible set piece. There's so much fun stuff in there. Her picking up the phone to try and make a call, and it's like, "Hello, welcome to the Moretti Museum, blah blah blah." And then her seeing the stuffed dog, it's like that rumor, whether or not he really wore Freddie Mercury's teeth, we may never know, but he did really have his dog taxidermied, and there's Bellatto's head that he had taxidermied as well. And she gets upstairs. She thinks she's like well hidden, and then it's like, actually there's a trellis on the side of the house that gives you access to literally every window on these other floors. So we can get into any room that you're in that you might be hiding in to get to you. And then they don't kill her, they just knock her unconscious. And it's like one of those things that maybe would make you suspicious, except that they bring her to the ceremony, and it's like they didn't kill everybody else like you thought they did in the puppet show theater. They just like beat the shit out of them so that they could bring them here for the big ceremony. Like Juliette Lewis, look at her, she's still alive.
She's still
actually
kicking.
We actually don't see, I mean, I think it's fun because we see a lot of like great gore that in this movie that we were missing from Trap, but you don't actually see a lot of deaths. It's like they just kind of circle back later and go, here are the bodies all wrapped up very nicely. But you can see why she would think like Rachel would be the person who might actually help her escape, have some sympathy for her. Not that, they formed such a tight bond while Rachel was shaving her pubes, but it's like that is a very intimate interaction to have had. She's certainly not going to believe it if Bella's the one to help her escape. You know what I mean?
And also,
and
she's another Black woman in this situation, so.
If anybody's going to be on my side, hopefully it would be this person who would kind of understand what I'm going through here and maybe would want me to be able to survive it. And then I loved the bit at the end with the guy in the car where she's escaping from the guy on the car. She uses like the 3-finger jab that she says she learned in the beginning. Ken says, "Oh, your piece on the like blind martial arts person." She learned that from them. Because when I was watching that scene the first time, I was like, what purpose is this serving in the story? Oh, it's to set up the like medium thing, but it was also like to lay that groundwork.
So funny. That's
but
smart.
that guy's a levelist too. And so it's like even her escape, she's only allowed to escape because they've put all of the set pieces in play
All
and
of it.
disguised them well enough that she's not even questioning it. They had all those people there in the beginning, so she knows there are people with cars nearby that she can run to if she can just get to the gate and over the gate.
Because
But
they
then he
need
lays
her
it
to
all,
believe it. They need
yeah,
her
Yeah.
to believe. And that's another thing. She, even though she is a rookie or whatever, I'm using scare quotes, and she's like newer to this world, from the beginning, like I said with this conversation with Kent, she is self-assured enough where she is like, this is going to happen for me. I will write my book. I will be famous in that regard. And
she's
so she
hungry.
knows that she's smart, she's hungry for it, exactly, she's ambitious.
She
And
wants
so she is smart enough to realize that something's going on, smart enough to figure it out, smart enough to escape. Now I'm using scare quotes again. Um and smart enough to believe she got it fucking right, and not to think that she could be wrong about all the things that she's well researched, you know? And so that's why it's such like a blow to her ego that she thinks that she's done this amazing thing and finally found her perspective and her piece to speak in this world. And then she's just been a pawn. Crazy. It's
The
devastating. It is an upsetting ending.
and the reveal, it's like we see her doing her book tour circuit. She does that interview with that guy who, for radio or whatever it is, where they're in like the audio room.
Mhm.
And then we see the conversation with Moretti where he goes, actually, this has been my plan all along. I devised all of this. And you see the video interviews after that where it's like she's still doing it because she's like, I don't know, whatever. I'm not like feeding into this narrative that you're this like mastermind who's been plotting everything and I haven't done anything on my own. I'm just not prepared to like believe that and give over all power to you until she sees those pearls. And then she has to reckon in that moment, is this person like playing me like a little puppet, like Billy's puppet show? Like are they making me put on a show for them right now where I'm doing what they want me to do? I'm performing in the way that they want me to perform. And if I stop, what am I sacrificing? And am I prepared to do that too?
Yeah. It's crazy.
And for you to like
Such a
not
good
know where she
ending.
lands on that too, where it's like she's still kind of like frozen in silence. Maybe she does go on to answer, maybe she doesn't. Maybe she like walks off right then. Maybe she's like,
But you
you
don't
know what,
know.
I'm gonna get mine and keeps going. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's really. I think the ending is so fucking good. I thought the ending was so good. I think that there's pacing issues in the middle, and there's some stuff that I wish they had dug into more, which I've already said. But like that was the one thing that didn't bother me. Not that I felt bothered the whole time, but that felt satisfying to me. At least this watch. I don't know how I felt a year ago, but this time around, I was just like, oof. It's a gut punch for sure, but like it's a horror movie. We're not always gonna have a happy ending, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I like.
Yeah. They just do so much interesting storytelling in this movie too. Like
Yeah.
the puppet Billy's puppet show is a
With the
really,
rat bodies as
yeah,
the puppets. Oh
the
my
rats
god,
are
The
so
rat
scary,
reporter.
first of all. Um,
they're
and the idea
corpses.
to focus on Billie Holiday is very interesting within the overall storytelling of this movie.
Yeah,
Again, to be like this black woman that like we're holding up as a puppet, and she's controlled by the media and the narrative, and they go, "Oh, perform your trauma for us if you want to be famous." Um,
Did you
and
know
he's
that the
going
puppet
like,
was voiced by Rosario Dawson?
"Stop."
The Billie
cool.
That
Holiday puppet.
I love. But I think like that is such an interesting piece of like art and color for this story. And then also like the paintings where it's like I don't know if they were all supposed to be related to the people that he invited, but the one that's like clearly
Oh
Ariel
yeah.
Io Debris character, but she's got like her third eye to show like
Mm-hmm.
she's the one who's like the storyteller, knowledgeable,
She
sees
sees it
She's
everything.
all.
aware.
Yeah, it's and then that's part of the conversation of like who's God, who's the creator. I don't know, just lots of interesting stuff going on.
Yeah, totally. Well, are we ready to move into our
Segmentos?
yeah?
Okay.
Okay. How could this movie be gayer.
Do we all agree that Moretti bisexual?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe pansexual. I don't know. I don't
Pan
know that
for
he like
sure.
puts a label on it of any kind, but I think
He'll
he
fuck
just
anyone.
appreciates pretty people.
100%. He is giving David Bowie Prince vibes for sure. So both known bisexuals, despite what David Bowie later went on to say. I reject. I reject that. He's bi to me forever.
I think Belle was also in love with Ariel. All that aggression was just pent up sexual frustration.
She's just mad that they have to let Ariel go. They don't get to keep her forever.
Exactly.
I need Juliette Lewis to be at least bisexual. Just
That's
like
a
for
lesbian.
Me. Yeah, I think that's a lesbian.
Lesbian.
Oh, thank God. Okay, great.
I think she might be not out. I think it's possible she is not out,
Yeah.
but I think that is a lesbian.
Yeah, like she's
100%.
not Ellen DeGeneres-ing it, you know?
She
But
like
she's,
really did not enjoy the fake sex act with Moretti.
She's Oprah-ing, okay?
Yeah. She's Oprah.
Meanwhile, Bianca, the paparazzi, I do think that is actually a straight woman because she really enjoyed it with Moretti.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the biggest twist of the movie. It's like that woman who's giving big butch. Nope.
That's straight.
It can
That's
be butch and straight.
Your presentation has no reflection on your sexual orientation.
Yeah.
They don't have to match. You can
Uh-huh.
be whatever and also like whoever.
Speak on it. So true.
You're gay.
Yes.
Forget what I just said about presentation. You're gay.
Oh, actually,
who was
you're gay.
His publicist or his agent or
Soledad.
something? That's a straight man.
No.
It's, I think, Tony Hale. And Tony Hale straight's not going to turn out.
Tony Hale is straight.
Yeah, I think, yeah. But he plays characters that are given kind of
yeah, but I think
fruity
it's
vibes,
one of
but I
those
do
like
think,
weird things where he is giving those vibes. That's a straight man, unfortunately.
No,
I think it would be funny.
Once again, presentation.
Yeah,
no,
don't
not
judge a book by
necessarily
its
a
cover.
reflection.
Yeah, that's true. I love Soledad.
Straight and he
movie
gets
about
crazy
Soledad.
pussy.
Biopic
He
on
cleans
Soledad.
up.
Yeah.
He would though. He would clean up purely out of proximity to Moretti. You know what I mean?
100%. Okay. Any other gay thoughts we'd like to share?
So many more gay thoughts.
All right, Matthew Lillard, where would he fit in? I mean, he would be a fantastic Jorg. But I could also see him as a Stan as well. He can be a cunt when asked.
He could be that guy sitting in the car being like, oh my God, I can't believe she got to meet them.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good.
Like at the end.
He would be a great Moretti, but I like John Malkovich. Sorry, has to stay.
that is Moretti.
That's Moretti. He's too iconic. He could
be a good Ayo's like boss. Ayo's boss.
Yeah,
that's Stan.
Oh, I don't know any of their names.
That's okay.
I was like, that's this guy, good. Juliette Lewis.
I think he would be good as Stan, for sure. Okay. Dumb bitch.
Stan.
Stan, yeah.
Stan is first of all, he is dumb. Second of all, he's such a bitch because Ariel, the second that Ariel comes on the plane with him, he's like, hey guys, she's going to be tagging along, Youngblood from the magazine. She's not tagging along. She got her own invitation. And then she pulls out a chair to sit at the big kids table. He yoinks it right out from under her basically so that he can sit there instead.
Which is so annoying.
So that he gets prime seating. She approaches him to be like, I want to write a secondary piece about some of the stuff that you're not doing, you're not interested in, you're not reading Meditations of Level. I am. It's a companion piece to yours. I accept that it will be smaller, lesser, a side note, essentially. And he's still like, no, anything interesting about this story will be mine. You're just here to take notes. It's like, no, you stupid bitch. Like, first of all,
asshole.
if you were a good editor, you would want additional pieces on this, but he's not interested in being a good editor. He's interested in the fame and fortune that comes with being the person who has proximity to Moretti. It's the same thing in the beginning where everybody's like
100%.
hearing this buzz, everybody's hearing this rumors, maybe Moretti's back, maybe Moretti's coming out with an album. He's like, no, I would know. Because if they were doing that, they would do it the same way they did 27 years ago, where they send a VHS tape. And it's like, he's not considering that Moretti, like everybody else, is changing with the times. And
Yeah,
in
we're
fact,
digital
he's
now.
like shocked when somebody comes running over with the laptop to be like, Soledad's on YouTube. Like, he's number one stupid dumb bitch of this movie for sure.
Fucking so stupid.
I hate that
Getting
bitch.
stabbed
Love
in
that
his little
actor.
heart.
Hate that bitch. Gets
Yeah,
shot with
he's
an
so
arrow and then is like,
handsome.
actually, it's fine. I'm still just gonna. I'm actually. I. Why would I leave? I have this story to cover so that I can get byline.
Ugh.
Sorry. Yeah, dumb bitch, 100%. I'm with you. I'm totally with you. Because Moretti, smart bitch. That guy's a king.
Moretti,
Yeah.
handsome king, icon.
Handsome king, incredibly talented,
Dina Simone,
outsmarts
bop
He's
of
a
all
star.
time.
everyone. Yeah, bop of all time. Absolute icon. Maybe he's right. Some people are just better, and he's the best of the best.
Yeah.
As evidenced by him, he's better than everyone else at everything. It's crazy.
And we
Mhm.
can't deny it. The evidence is right there.
I guess I'm a
Look,
levelist now.
when
Yeah.
you're the one, you're the one.
It
Yeah,
really got us, you know?
damn, we're accidentally spreading the good word of the levelist cult by doing this on the pod. We are complicit. Fuck.
And
Okay.
I knew that from the beginning.
Of course you did. Okay, that brings us to our knives out of fives. And I know this has got some mixed reviews, so what's happening?
Yeah, on IMDb, this movie has a 5.7 out of 10.
Wow, lower than I thought.
Well, wait until you hear that on Rotten Tomatoes from critics, it got 39% rotten, which I think puts it kind of in Trap territory. What did Trap get again? Oh, Trap had 56% rotten from critics. It puts it in Phantom territory, which had 32% rotten from critics. Yeah. So 39% rotten from critics. However, audiences on Rotten Tomatoes, it was 61%, which put it in fresh territory just barely. So
Damn.
audiences on Rotten Tomatoes are slightly higher rating it than audiences on IMDb. But even though you said it maybe had Sundance buzz, it wasn't in any award conversations
Yeah.
really from that. And while it did technically have an award section on IMDb, it's like it was nominated for Outstanding Independent Motion Picture at the 2026 Image Awards from the NAACP.
Mhm.
And it was nominated for Best Motion Picture at the 2025 Catalonian International Film Festival. But that is it. So just not, like we said, it's one of those things where it's like, I think that there was a lot of buzz before the movie came out, and then there was just like to no fanfare once it did. And I think maybe part of that is because the critics kind of bombed it, and so maybe people were like, oh, it's not
Like,
worth seeing
oh.
after all, and then they just didn't go. But I don't know that that's a fair appraisal of the movie itself. I don't know what number I'd give it going in. I haven't thought about it, but certainly I thought that
Yeah.
those were low as well.
Yeah, totally. Well, who wants to go first?
I mean,
I'm
I can keep talking until I land somewhere, but if somebody has an idea.
I think, did I give Trap a 3?
Yes. No,
I'm
2.5.
okay. This one will get a 3 out of 5 for me. It was like it needed to be fleshed out a little bit. Like I this was what, like an hour and 40
Yeah.
something minutes. I don't think I would have hated if this movie was 2 hours, but
Mhm.
like done like providing context for some of the people like around it. Like
Mm-hmm.
and I said earlier too, like the ending, like I liked the ending, but it just like didn't like it didn't satisfy me enough. And I don't know what they could have done differently, but like I don't know if I liked how they revealed it, right? Like cuz he didn't do like a villain monologue that a lot of villains do, but he also kind of did
But they give it to you so much later.
it was later, and like sometimes I don't like when they have to tell us, like part of me, I think because it just seems kind of like him just being like, oh, well, let me tell you, instead of like her figuring out, maybe she's out and about and she sees
One of
the
them.
lady who shaved her bush, or like
Yeah.
like with like no, and she sees like these people like out in the community. But
That I was literally just thinking the same thing, that would have also been a really cool way to reveal it.
If York had like grown his hair out, I think he would have been a little recognizable, but not in one of those ways where you're like, is that really the person that I'm thinking of, or are they just like calling to mind that person? I'm not, because they look a little bit different. I'm not. I think it could have been that like cross racial identification disparity of like that could be any white man.
right,
I'm just not sure.
he's in like a Fabio
He's the
long
person I
hairstyle
talk
wig.
to most, but once again, that could be any white guy.
But so yeah, this is the three. I liked it. I was a little bored. I wanted more, but seeing that this is Mark Anthony's Green's like first movie, like I thought it was a good like first stab at it, and now I'm interested to see what else he has to say. And now that I know that he's super sexy, I'm very interested.
Now I'm seated.
Now I'm alert. I'm
gonna
aware.
put a quick
This
follow
man
on
is
Instagram.
on my radar from now on.
Does he do thirst traps? Just wondering. Sorry to just completely reduce him to a sexy man, but he also can write. Yeah, I feel you, Sydney. Like, it's kind of the same way that I feel. I'm not going to give it a 3. I think I'm going to give it a little higher score than that, like a 3.8. Close to a 4. I want to give it a 4, but for some reason I'm not going to. I just think this is a really good movie. It deserves to be seen, and it has so many strong parts about it. But again, like exact same thing you said. It just meanders a little bit when we're at the compound. It's not toit toit toit, and some of that they're trying to just create an air of mystery. But I think same thing I already said. The characters just needed a little more fleshing out so I could care a little bit more. I could see more of those dynamics to feel like they really utilized these incredible actors that they had in this, because like they really had a really fun cast here. Um but again, I think it's really strong. It's a really interesting concept. I love seeing like the dealing with power dynamics, and fame will change you, and like how can you get more powerful once you're the most powerful man in the world, and this pivot to a cult is just so perfect. I don't know, and I did really love the ending, but I agree, Sydney. I think that having a reveal where she sees one of those people at first maybe, and so she's like paranoid, like what the fuck was that about, and then maybe Moretti lets her know or something, because I do love that he gets to like throw it in her face. That's so him, to be like, I outsmarted you. I do like that aspect of it, but I don't know. I did still feel very satisfied by this ending. So yeah, I think it's a good movie. I think more people should see it, but it's not perfect, but that's okay. It can't all be Five Knives.
Mm-hmm. I think I will. I know you were saying I want to give it a 4, and I'm not quite there, but I think I'm prepared to commit to a 4.
Hell yeah.
I think it does. We touched on this earlier, and a little bit right now, but the idea that he's just like Mark Anthony Green is suffering a little bit from the concept of a single author problem, that like the idea of authorial intent, it's hard to know when you're the person writing. I mean, I'm sure other people were also involved in collaboration to some degree. He
Yeah.
has an editor, presumably that's not him. But when you're the writer and the director, it's hard to know sometimes what makes it out of your brain and onto the page, and what you lose when you cut things, and that just comes with experience over time. And so I think if there was more to like Bill and Emily Katz, for example, that didn't end up in the final cut of the story, that he felt like there was enough there communicated already. That's the kind of thing that you, in hindsight, go, okay, next time, here's where I would, or next time it turns out that was blah, 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 whatever. You learn as you go, and it's a new medium. Even if you learn that in your work as a writer and as a journalist, now being a fiction storyteller, it's just like, it's a slightly different skill to hone. But I think there's so much here that's really interesting. Like I said, Moretti's plan is like very well constructed. The way it's revealed throughout the movie, I think, is very well done. I do think the pacing is a little bit of an issue, in the sense that we get so much time to kind of like learn the compound and have Ariel being introduced to the Moretti philosophy, because she's going to be like the mouthpiece for it later. And like Sydney's saying, you could have taken like an extra 15 minutes to flesh out Bill Otto and Emily Katz specifically, I think, because I do love the scene where Ariel goes over to whoever's room, Juliette Lewis's room or Stan's room or whoever's room it was, and they're like all hanging out together. That's like great color for those characters. But we just don't get it with the other two people who are like part of that entourage, and them being the first to go. It would have been nice to know them a little bit more.
Yeah.
But like I said, I love the painting. I love what Monica brought up, the discussion about the pearls, the puppet show. Like there's a lot of really interesting, artistically creative stuff going on here that makes me like hungry for more from him. So I'm very sad that he got like critically bombed, because I would love to see him get more opportunities in the future. But he is handsome and talented, so I believe it will come to him.
Everything will come.
And again, those songs, incredible bops. Dina Simone on repeat.
They were so good.
Oh. Sorry, I spun myself
And that
around.
opening, oh my God, the credits opening with the concerts, and there's just like the singular people in the dark. It's such a great, incredible way to set up Moretti as this like figure of the like he's so iconic. He's so like on another, people are like going feral for him. It's a great way to set up that lore around the artist.
That
the
is
montage
like,
where everybody is singing Dina Simone, it's like the woman doing the karaoke and these people here and the person blah 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 blah. Like they introduce him as a figure so well before they introduce him as a character.
There's so many moments like that where it's not like they're giving you a 20-minute, like, here's an expose on everything that has ever happened with Moretti. But, like, you're getting so much information in an artistic and, like, succinct way. And I just wish there were more moments, not exactly like that, but sort of giving us more information throughout the movie just to, like, have us get to know these characters a little better. He did an amazing job with Moretti himself. But other characters lacked that same, not, they wouldn't get the same because nobody's Moretti. There's the only one. That's why he is the king. And we all worship him now, by the way.
Yeah, we're one of his cult members officially. We're literally spreading the gospel.
100%. I took off my blue outfit because I didn't want to make it too obvious.
They're the cult members at we can wait until you're doing your YouTube spiel maybe, but you guys are the cult members when you've gone out into the world and you're scooping ice cream and like working at a mechanic shop. And
100%. That's it. That's what we are. But yeah, that's it for Opus. But Popstar Horror Month continues next week. What we got, Sydney?
A movie that I have never seen.
But can't wait to see, right?
I'm excited to see because I think I liked the first one. I don't remember what I gave it. But we're going to do Smile 2. And apparently, according to Monica, I give a Smile 2 vibe, which I don't know what that means because I haven't seen it.
Do you feel it though, listener? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I think that, well, here's the whole thing that we were saying about Smile. We'll get into this more next episode. But Smile, whether or not you thought it was good or you liked it, it's necessary setup for Smile 2, which is
the real star.
that bitch.
Yeah, I didn't
And
like
I am that
Smile when I
bitch, so
first
I
saw
get it.
Smile.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like it at all. I immediately fucked heavy with Smile 2. Absolutely standing ovation. So I'm excited to watch it again. But yeah, that's it. We're doing Pop Star Horror Month all month long. And why don't you say, oh my God, I didn't know about this subgenre of 3, soon to be 4 films. Thank you for opening my eyes, Spooky Tuesday, in a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Just try it. It could be fun. Might be fun for you. It'd be fun for us for sure. And why not follow us on social media? We're at spooky_Tuesday on pretty much everything except for Facebook and Tumblr, where we are at Spooky Tuesday Pod. Go to www.spookytuesdaypod.com, one-stop shop for everything about us. You will love it there. There's also a link there to our Patreon, patreon.com/spooky_Tuesday. Join our cult. Have you thought about that? We have a cult too. Also, the website's cult themed, by the way. It's from our cult themed photo shoot. So there's a lot of
back around.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, it's all coming together. Finally, this
Spooky
is like
Tuesday, always right.
It's the end of the movie. It's the end of the episode. It's our reveal that this has actually all been a ploy to get you to join our cult this entire time, and it worked. And oh my God, do you see that? You're typing in patreon.com/spooky_Tuesday right now, and you're joining the $8 tier. Amazing! Thank you for doing that. Also, we are on YouTube, and as Chelsea just said, today we are 2 beautiful levelists out in public once again. And we're here with our fearless leader. And Chelsea, give him a little rundown of what you got going on.
I just like I'm not copying a specific outfit from the movie. It's more of like an inspired look, but he wears a lot of red and gold. And so I have pierced a red blazer that I have with a bunch of different earrings to give that embellished jewelry
Really
rhinestone
inspired look. It really is.
And I've got some textural interest going on, and of course I'm bald, and they couldn't tell what was going on with my mouth, but that's my old man white goatee. So if you also couldn't tell and you were this whole episode watching on YouTube going, what's going on with her mouth, that's what's going on with my mouth. But if you need to see it for yourself, if you're just listening, it's a good look. I'm really very happy with it, actually. So
it's actually spectacular.
Go check it out.
But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Bye, Spookies.
Spooky Tuesday was created by Monica Height, Sydney Thompson, and Chelsea Duff, and edited by Sydney Thompson. Our gorgeously spooky tunes are all thanks to Tamara Simons, who you can follow on Instagram at Great18. That's GR818_. And our podcast art is by Ryan Brom, who you can follow on Instagram at Ryan Brom Art. That's RyanBrommArt. Learn more about Spooky Tuesday at spookytuesdaypod.com and subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/spooky_Tuesday.